Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay. Okay. So today I'll be discussing on the topic of public finance. Okay, crowding effect also I'll be discussing. These are the topics are which is there in your syllabus, and I had already shared the PPT for all this. So let's begin. Like what public finance is the most talk topic in economics, right? Because it is something without which the economy cannot think to run. Okay, so public finance is it's not just a subject in itself, but you will see that there are scientific implication of this topic. Okay, it has been reported that whenever the government want to have a planning of income and expenditure, the public authorities need to think as how to plan this public finance, right? So the word public finance is basically, public means what? Public means normally the government or the state, right? So all types of government can include in can be included in public authorities. That's why it is said that public finance is related with income and expenditure of all types of government. Government can be of three types, isn't it? Central, state, and local. So, if you go by the definitions of public finance in economics, like Professor Dalton, uh, uh, then J.K. Mehta, C.B. Bastable, Findlay Siras, they have given a very good definitions for public finance. They said that public finance is nothing but it deals with the income and expenditure of public authorities, right? And in a way as how they can adjust these two things. The study of the principle underlying the concept of spending of the government, from where the funds will be raised by the public authorities. Okay, so public finance basically deals with the expenditure and the income of public authorities of the state, and it also talks about the financial administration and the control of the same. So, if you have to analyze like what public finance is, public finance at Stanford is also an economist. Okay, he has also given a definition like public finance is related with fulfillment of group needs, especially. So we study public finance because there are a lot of economic problems which arises in any state, right? And it is the government, private or the public sectors will have to take care as how the resources can be allotted, how the different needs can be fulfilled, right? So what I've written in the slide is that public finance deals with government income and expenditure. It is an important aspect of macroeconomics and deals to financing of public sector by the government. Okay, so these are basically deals with the financial activities of public sector. If I move to the next slide, if you divide the financial aspect, if you divide the finance, there are three broad categories: private finance, corporate finance, and public finance. And under the public finance, you have to study four things: public revenue, public expenditure, financial administration, and public debts. So if you have to define what corporate finance is a area of finance that deals with the sources of funding and the capital structure of corporations. If we have to talk about what is private finance, we all know it is something which deals with the income and expenditure activities of private individuals or a private entities, or you may call it as households. Public finance deals with the income and expenditure activities of the state and the government. Now, the important question arises that what type of government expenditures are there? Why there is a need that the government will have to look into the different sources of income and different have to plan for different expenditures. Okay, so if you go deep into like what are the sources of scope of public finance, basically the first is the functions of state, right? function, we already know that it is the duty of the state to provide the security to the nation. Okay, security, I mean to say, security against the war, security against the injustice of other nations, or you may say that security right now, like we are facing the COVID situation. So it is the duty of the government to see as the thing has to be provided to the people. Okay, so, and the other functions of the state, state here, I mean to say the government, right? So the other function is to maintain the peace, the justice, and to build all those things. The government can not always think of the profit aspect, right? The government will have to think about the different sources from where this finances can be arranged, and the external and the internal need of the countries can be met. Now, if you will have to see into the different aspects, which other aspects which the government will have to see are the situations like inflation. Okay, the situations like that the government will have to take care of about the preservation of natural resources, and they have to maintain and expand the means of transportation, communication. Okay, so overall, if you will have to analyze the activities of government is very broad, right? Government administration, government official has to maintain the different expenses. So, you for this there's a terminology called public expenditures. So public expenditure comprises of all the spendings of the federal, state, and local government, and the capital spending of the government-owned industries. Okay, so it's not that you might have heard that the government public PSUs are going under the are suffering different loss. Okay, but then still they are running, isn't it? So government will have to take care of the different expenditures. But then, one question may come in your mind that then what is the difference between the government expenditure and private expenditures? See, government expenditures actually differ from private expenditures in one very important aspect as the income flow. Okay, the private individuals can only spend in excess of his income by running down his saving or by persuading other individual to reduce his spending and let him balance. Suppose as an individual you are starting a business, so in that case, your sources of income can be your own earning, okay, or it can be a money which you have borrowed from your friends or from the bank or from your parents. In that way you can spend, right? So obviously as a individual, as a private individual, we have to think a lot. We will spending in excess only when we are running down our savings. We have to make some curtailments in our saving, then only we can afford to spend more. But in the case of government, things are totally different, right? Government on the other hand, they have to always spend more than what they receive in revenue. So, the government always run in deficits. Maybe you may have heard that there is a deficit balance of payment going on. So, in that case, of course, the different steps are being taken by government to overcome those. Like export subsidies are given, the import substitution industries are being set up, more of FDIs are there. But then, if they have to decide how to achieve it, they have to be mentally prepared. Like they have to decide on different financial aspects. If you have to classify the public expenditures are actually classified into three three categories. The first one, which I have written, is capital expenditures. Capital expenditures actually refers to the different sources and different ways as how the government will be spending in the long-term projects. Long-term projects, I mean to say, the roads, hospitals, power stations. Okay, so actually these investments will always form a part of those investments which are going to benefit the country, right? So basically, these investments are not for the shorter period of time, but it's actually involved in the long projects. Now, when you're talking about the current expenditures, It includes the payment of wages, the salaries, and the other cost of materials or the supply that is necessary to operate the public services. So, public services, I mean to say that if the government is spending and getting constructed the parks, the roads, the traffic lights, so in that way, they have to spend. Okay. Now there are other form of expenditures, transfer expenditure. Actually, in India, this expenditure accounts a huge lot investments from the government side because the payment has to be made, such as pension and other social responsibility costs, which the government make out the taxes mainly to those who need special help. Now, if there are old peoples and if there are retired people more in the country, then obviously the government will have to take care for them. Now, in developed countries, after a time period when the people already contribute a lot to the country, it is the state or I would say it is the government who take cares for their well-being. So you can see that in a way the government will have to plan as how they will shift the money or shift the money or the powers from rich to the poor people. So this can be the different. So basically, what the government is doing that it is redistributing the income. Okay, redistributing the income in favor of poor people. So if the government spends the maximum part of its income in a way that it benefits more to the poor, then there will be less inequality between the real income. The government have to spend more on people with low income, especially in a country like India. So in this regard, the government have to do social services like I can give examples of free education, okay, different health arrangements, different housing facilities which are there, where different provisions are there, okay, to help the poor, save the poor from different kind of unemployment, like cyclic fluctuations. We know different kinds of unemployments are there. Illness, not only that, a hardship of old age. So basically, the public expenditures look into different aspects as how to provide this special economic aids for the increment in the production of essential commodities by the government. The ration cards are there, okay, ration card facilities are there. So the main purpose is to balance the development programs. No, rural and urban areas, the development pace, or you can say the speed, is not equal. So ultimately, different economic policies are being regularly formed in order to reduce this inequality of income and to raise the level of life, right? Now, if we'll go by the structure and the pattern of public expenditures, just quickly, you can read this slide. The services on which the government spend, their revenues are grouped into general and administrative. Examples are given. Okay, Army, Navy, Air Force, public service, school, government school teachers, right? Court fees, police forces. And if you talk about the economic services, includes the expenditures on agriculture land, industrial mining, power stations, communication, forestry, and fishery. If you have to define the social services, it is what I was explaining right now: expenditures on education, healthcare, delivery, recreational facilities. Okay, so as such, I've given one example. The Pradhan Mantri via Vandana Yojana has been launched by the government to protect the early persons aged 60 years and above that. Right? So not only this, see, there are other expenditures also which the government will have to take care, like the payments on the interest of money already borrowed. So, see, sometimes what happens that the public borrowing in a country is not sufficient. Whatever money you are taking from the public to tax are not sufficient. So, in that case, you may have to take some international borrowing. You may have to take the help from the international agencies like IMF and World Bank. Okay, so they will grant you, but then the thing is that you need to return those money. You have to explain your projects, how much time you are going to complete that project, how much, what will the results, what will the outcome for those projects, right? So transfer services are also there. Other examples like payment of pension, social security, unemployment benefits. So, okay. Now the question arises that why this public expenditure is increasing day by day. See, we all know that taxation is an important source, right? Taxation is an important source to eradicate the inequality of money through, like we charge income tax, okay, corporate tax. So these are the ways by which the money can be transferred from poor to the rich by different steps. It is, and the only purpose for this is to provide economic stability. You know why? It is a very big question that how the international trade is going to take a turn after the effect of this post COVID-19. So this is a very important topic among the different economists and different researchers, that what will be the different ways in which our country is going to be affected, because it's very much true for us to understand that still, we have been dependent on China for a lot of products, right? So that is a debatable question. So my point is that economic stability has to be maintained. Economic stability means the whatever changes or whatever instability which is there in production, employment, and the cost, right? So being a developing country, what happens that our growth rate is not that high. Economy is not growing at that faster rate, but then the population is increasing, right? We all know population is increasing. So for that, it is very much important that you have to employ the different technological, and you have to adopt the technological advancement in order to increase the rate of production, increase the employment, and and obviously the question is that as how to reduce the cost of manufacturing, right? It's very easy to say that we should not use the Chinese product, but then if you are purchasing the MI televisions, it will really cost less, and if you are going for the Indian brands, the products are going to be very costly, right? So you have to understand somewhere that the cost has to be reduced, and in a situation where the this kind of economic I mean to say this kind of economic disasters are there, the natural this pandemic is there. So obviously is a big question that how to achieve the economic stability. Now obviously the public expenditures are increasing because our country population is increasing, because the need for the economic and social security among the people is increasing, right? Now, we also know that we are into the habit of uh, consuming foreign products, right? We cannot avoid this fact. But then, if you're going for an international product, then what will happen? That in a way, you are promoting the foreign countries to come to your country and do trading, and your resources are actually going to that country. So in a way, the time has reached that when you have to understand that there's a greater need for research and development. There's a greater need that we have to understand as how to develop the different sectors, because you have to respond to the demand, the rising demand of public goods. So the need for the government uh, to be source of increased investment is obviously the saving and the capital formation. Cannot deny that saving and capital formation is very much important. Achieving full employment is also very important, but I can't say that full employment is actually not a term to be used. Full employment is never achievable, but then there are different factors affecting the production which can be enhanced, which can be improved, and it may lead to lower cost of production and increase to the sale of goods by the industries. uh, Now there's a one question that what is the importance of collecting the resources for economic development, right? See, capital formation, like Dr. R.N. Tripathi has said that our country is tremendously suffering from low saving, low capital formation, and that's the reason why we have to increase our rate of increasing the saving in our country. So there are different tools which are adopted by the government. Tools like you can change the tax slabs. You can bring some policies in the monetary. You can bring some changes in the monetary policy, of course, and by providing more employment opportunities to the people, you can enhance the salaries and you can enhance the standard living of the people. Okay, then this one important thing I would like to discuss with you. Okay, after this slide, I will discuss. See, there's one PPT which I'm showing to you where I've shown the impact of higher government spending. Obviously, there is going to be the impact in the sense that, see, in a layman language, we all understand if there's a more of investment in the economy, what will happen that it will going to be favorable for the nation, right? It will favorable for the nation. Obviously, it will bring drastic changes in the financial system, in the economic system, and whatever structure that is being followed, that can be changed. Like the structure. What I mean to say here is, let's take an example of fiscal policy. Okay, so fiscal policy in our country is a great motivator. It's a great motivator. It's a motivator in speeding up the resources of public areas. See, by expanding the public sector, the government can expand such enterprise which are considered more important by the view of national favor. The question is whether the higher government spending will able to address the unemployment which is there. The problem of unemployment in our country is very severe. There are invisible unemployments which are there. I am saying that uh, because invisible, I'm saying because in a there is a short term problem for in fully developed countries which are created by effects of business cycle. But in developing countries, the unemployment is a major problem which can only be solved by long-term development policies. Therefore, the changes of the employment style has to be redesigned, right? So if there is a higher government spending, obviously the potential higher economic growth will be there. The government borrowings will include possible inflations can be addressed, may cause to higher bond yields, more public goods will be there. Okay, people will be able to spend more educational or productivity will be there. Now, there's one concept which I've written in slide crowding out. See, what crowding out is a situation where the personal consumption of goods and services and investment by business are reduced because of increase in government spending and deficit financing, sucking up available financial resources and raising interest rates. So, increase in the government spending leading to squeezing of private investments. So it happens sometimes that if the government spending expenditures are increasing, government expenditures are increasing, it means what? From somewhere the government is taking the money, isn't it? So if the government is increasing those spending, it means that somewhere the private individuals, the households, or the businessmen, they are reducing their saving. They are paying a part of their disposable income to the government in form of tax, right? So these financial resources are being used by the government sectors for basically for the utilization of public also. But you will but the results for these investments actually come very slowly. Okay, so that's the reason people think that we are paying more, we are paying very high tax, but where is the return? But where are the benefits? Every time you can see the banks are lowering down the returns which you are saving in the bank. Okay, so now people actually doubt whether they should save in the bank, because tomorrow, you never know what the interest rates are going to be. So RBI is actually bringing a lot of changes, especially in this present scenario, in order to respond to the COVID-19. Government has RBI, a central bank, has got many new announcements. Okay, so there is no denying fact that government will have to look into the different government sources of revenue. So sources of revenue slides, I've discussed with you what tax are. Okay, so now there are also non-tax revenue ways. Like non-tax revenue is actually recurring income earned by the government from sources other than tax. From other than tax, like I mean to say the dividends, the profit received from the public sector companies. Okay, so now other than tax, borrowing, as I told you, is also one of the source. Like when the private individual, the government, uh, um, like when the government need to borrow the resources to meet their expenditures, which is uh, if any inadequate, if they are not able to meet their expenditures out of the receipts which they have got, then ultimately they have to look into the different sources of revenue. Now we all know that our country is going through a deficit balance of payment, where the debts of the government are increasing. So, but then we cannot deny that we have to import certain commodity. We have to import. The IT sector development in India has actually supported a lot, right? The IT sector development in a country has actually given a lot of support to the service sector, and of course, if the better mechanisms are there in a developing country, our dependence on financial institutions, international financial institutions, basically I'm talking about IMF and World Bank, will be less. The other sources of the other sources can be the different kinds of license, toll gates, water rates, port fees. These are the other sources of actually payments received by the government. The rents and royalties are also other sources where they take the rent from the paid by the use of public land. Royalties are obtained from use of mineral resources, etc. Grants I've already discussed. Like within the country, the grants are being made from federal to the state, because the state and the local government, many a time they receive different kinds of grants from the central government. Okay, for undertaking different projects, if they are undertaking for their development, the central government obviously support them with different financial aids. Um, Basically, the states which are underdeveloped, which are where the health issues are there, where the education facilities are less, they obviously the government will have to support. So I'm what I mean to say that the responsibility of the government is not less. Okay, the revenue sources are not that, but then the expenditure list, or you can say the list, is very long. Okay, you can by this slide uh, you can just have an idea about the different functions of government. There's nothing to explain on this. Okay. Maintain law and order, protecting the environment, regulate the labor market, national defense, macroeconomic stability, reduce the market failure. Okay. So, but then what is the effect of financing government? Uh, Somewhere, see, the effects will definitely be there. Effects, I mean to say that if you're financing, you're helping the government, somewhere the loss has to be suffered by the society, because ultimately if we invest somewhere, we want to have some return. But then somewhere by changing economic policies, the poor people in India or the middle class people in India are hit hard every time, right? uh, uh, there are actually we have been facing inflation. Okay, there's no denying fact that the commodities are very costly, and the purchasing power of the people are not like that. So uh, where the government decide to finance its expenditure by creating new money through the sale of government bonds. The implication is that if the government is in full employment, this method can create an inflationary gap and thus cause a rise in the price level. This rise in price would mean what? It means that ultimately the household, the firms would be able to buy less than what you were buying. Okay. Now, earlier, uh, yes, I should say this because earlier purchasing a laptop, purchasing electronic gadget uh, is quite affordable. Okay, but now if you go for a very technologically enhanced products like, and yeah, it's true that market is flooded with international products which are very good in performance, but their cost is also very high. So in a way, you can see that the resources available with you is very less, and where the cost of living or the expenditure or you can say the consumption which you're doing is obviously very high. So in that term, will you be able to save something? No. And when the government is increasing different ways to take the money from you, it is really very painful, right? Now, taxation I'll not discuss because I'd already discussed with you. Taxes are source of revenue, right? It is a protection for infant industry. Yeah, there's little to discuss on this. Tax may be imposed to protect the infant industries. Like we know that domestic industries or small scale industries are there. Recently, 2 days or one day back, we have listened to the announcement which is being made in order to support the small scale industries. So obviously, the small scale industry support, if it is there in a country, it is going to give a very good impact to the economy. But then again, the question is there: from where the finance will come, from where the infrastructure support will come, from where the labor force will be there, and how much the quality of the product being produced by this small scale industries will be acceptable by the Indian customers, where we know that we are habituated of using foreign products, right? So, but yes, the government is imposing a tax on the imported products. These products are becoming very much costlier, and in a way, it is the effort is to discourage the consumption of those goods so that we can again go back to using our domestic products. Uh, uh, 2 days, 1 or 2 days back, I was listening to Narendra Modi ji speech. He was saying that we have to again switch back to the domestic industries. So he's very much well forecasted the situation. Like if he will still go on using the foreign products, then the situations now, especially during this at this point of time, this fact is there. Okay, now we cannot deny or we cannot just neglect using or cannot avoid using the foreign goods. Other than what, otherwise, from where the international trade will happen? Okay, then we will be going to be a closed economy, isn't it? So foreign goods dependence is wrong. Foreign sustainable development is what needed in the days to come. So Mm, I just want to say, like, time is running, I have to conclude. So, there are different forms of tax, right? I'll not be discussing much on this, like, we know what direct tax and indirect tax are there. Now, going to the discussion on fiscal policy, it's just fiscal policy. One thing that fiscal deficit, you might be listening every time. So, fiscal deficit is just what I was discussing with you, the shortfall of government income compared to the spendings, right? So, government has to look beyond its different sources of earning. So, fiscal policy is obviously very much important, right? Fiscal policy is something which you cannot avoid, and for which the planning is very much needed. Um, and through this policy only, our government is intervening, it is helping the people to come out of the disasters. We know there are particular commodities which can be discouraged if the tax imposition on those goods are more. And ultimately, the objective is that the grip of recession which is there in our country, from the grip of unutilized productive capacity which is there, that has to be overcome, right? So in a way you can say that consumption pattern of the people need to be changed, right? Consumption pattern needs to be changed. I need to say that you have to support the country by way of adoption of domestic goods, because that's the only way we can check the different effects of like different uh, economic instability which we are going through. Okay, so fiscal policy is one of the stabilization policy used by the government to check the violent economic fluctuations in the economy. And in modern times, we know it is important that we should have a proper allocation of resources, proper direction needs to be given, and obviously for which the budgets are being passed, where the proper priorities are given to the different sectors which we have. Task of redistribution of wealth is also important, where you're taking money from the society, you need to respond to the need. You have to go back to the again people by meeting their needs by way of corporate social responsibility. So a proper guidance has to be there. Okay, the government need to understand the national crisis of the country, and the objective of growth and stability has to be met. So in conclusion part, I will just like to say that public finance is the aspect uh, of, okay, so can I hear a concluding part, like only a few minutes are left, so can I listen something from you all if you have something to say?
Good evening, ma'am.
Or yeah, you have to add something, please, your views on how the country will, our government will combat, will take the steps to overcome the economic crisis which is going to come.
Hello,
Yeah, I'm listening.
Uh,
ma'am. Can you set on some real life example of our current situation in economics about wealth, money, and specific public finance,
Yeah, of course.
on
See,
how to overcome? Yeah.
how to overcome, right? See, there's a different changes which you need to bring, like the investment pattern of the government needs to be changed, right? Like our dependence on the foreign goods, our, like what I was saying, that there's no denying fact that the country is obviously going through a crisis state, and we have to be somewhere ready for that, because the we know that the death rates have increased so much, and the coronavirus outbreak was is actually going to affect the Indian economy in a tremendous manner. Going to be uncertainty, of course. So preparedness is very much important, where you can realize that the collapse of economic activity can happen, right? Now there are different survey which has found out that the GDP is going to be very much affected. The GDP rate is going to be affected. So the problem is that we have a weak domestic consumption pattern. The consumer sentiments towards the product, right? That is actually not allowing the different industrialists or the manufacturing companies to come up with the investment plans. They doubt whether whatever investments they are going to bring, they are going to add to their income or not, because yeah, we all know that there's going to be a pressure on the growth. Okay, see, if you will see the terms of trade with China, we know that China is the world largest exporter, right? And it accounts for, if my figure is correct, 13% of world export and 11% of world import. So the steps which you are asking from me, our dependence on electronic imported goods has to be reduced, because it is still 45% we are taking it from China. right? Around 1/3 of machineries and almost 2/3 of the organic chemicals that India purchases still from where? From China. So now not
China.
only I'm talking about the organic chemicals, electronic imported commodities or the machineries. Now if you talk about the automatic parts, automobile parts or the fertilizer even. So I mean to say the pattern of investments of the industrialists in India need to bring a change, right? The mobile phones or the pharmaceutical ingredients, around 65% to 70% of the active pharmaceutical ingredients are being brought from China. And our 90% of 90%, yeah, I'm not wrong, 90% of mobile phones are from China, right? So therefore, we
Yes,
can say that due to this current outbreak of coronavirus in China, the import dependence on China has to be will significant impact on Indian economy, even in terms of trade, or even if you cannot ignore that most Indian company are located in eastern part of China, right? Indian in China, about 70% of the companies in India are located in cities like Shanghai, Beijing, provinces of different countries. So basically, in order to respond that, our government, our entire setup will have to think, the companies will have to think in the way of investments. Obviously, if you have to overcome this, particularly, I would like to focus few sectors which can help you to overcome the current scenario, like manufacturing sectors will help, right? IT or BPO sectors will be
sure.
helping the nation a lot. Logistic company, definitely. Chemical companies, airlines, and tourism. These are the companies which need to rethink the way they are doing. Don't you think tourism is going to be affected? Of course, yes. Airlines, of course, yes. Okay. Chemical manufacturing services.
Yes, ma'am.
So in a way, see, we are talking about social distancing. Can you answer one question? Don't you think that social
Yes, ma'am.
distancing is going to impact the economic activity? We are talking of social distancing, right? I'm taking a class sitting at my home.
Yes,
The people are not allowed to go to the office, and then the government is also saying that you have to think, you have to prepare for this uh, post COVID-19 effect. So how that will be possible? You're talking about social distancing where we are not supposed to touch each other. We are not supposed to meet with each other, and the economic activity has actually slowed down. There's no denying the fact. Okay, so of course we have to rethink. We have to various researchers, they are saying that the India may come as a superpower. Okay, but then it's only the time which will tell us what will happen.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for your participation. I think we have already the time is over. Rumna ma'am, can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, if she is online. Rumna ma'am? Okay, all of you, thank you so much for your patient listening. I've
Thank you,
already given
ma'am.
the slides. Yeah, thank you so much. I
Okay, ma'am.
understand it's
Thank you so
very
much.
thank you so much for listening to me. I understand it's not a face-to-face class, but then we are trying our best to reach you. And in a way, I suppose you are studying from first time from me, isn't it? I have not
Yes,
taken your
ma'am.
class